What is up, comic book fam? Good morning, and welcome to another fantastic review. Today we're going to be talking about, well, the THOR number 4, the issue number 4. Why now? Well, it's finally coming to me, right? Because there were problems with shipping, there were problems with many things due to Steve and due to, me living in Poland. But I finally got all of them until number 9. So yeah, so we are good to go. So this is the part 4 of the Devoured King, and we've got, of course, and still a Black Winter story here. So it picks up where we've kind of left off in issue number 3, where we're fighting the Better Ray Bill. Of course, Thor was fighting the Better Ray Bill. We've got Thor right now as the Herald of the Galactus on the cover. I do like the cover. And do I like the comic book? I think I'm slowly starting to grow in narration of Donny and how he provides certain things. Because let's be honest, for the last 10 years we've got Jason Aaron, and he had his unique way of storytelling. We had that in Original Sin as well, and just changing that, just being here with different artists on Thor, it does feel a little bit weird to me. And it gets time to get used to, and I think I'm still getting used to that. Even after, because I've read already the issue up until issue number 6, I'm still kind of slowly understanding now how he writes his stuff. So, but we're talking about the issue number 4. So as you can see, we got Sif and we've got Thor on the cover, and that's what is happening here. So Better Ray Bill, he is beaten, Thor beaten him, he is concussed, and Sif comes to the aid of the Better Ray Bill, and she goes like, hey, listen, Thor, you should stop, this is not, doing good. And Thor is, angry, as Thor is, and he's like, no, who shall stand before, me and everything, and he throws the hammer. And, well, Sif sends it. Why? Because she can, right? So she sends it straight to the land of the Frost Giants, to Jotunheim. I keep forgetting. So yeah, here's the Jotunheim right here, and of course we know after the War of the Realms, the king of the Jotunheim is now Loki, right? Because he, in the War of the Realms, he killed his father, so now he is on the throne. And as he's sitting on the throne, this Mjolnir just hits right there onto the ground. And he's like, is it? Wait, no, it's a trap. It has to be, right? And we got this conversation back and forth with Sif and Thor about the Amma, what to do, about everything, and how Thor has to save the whole universe, the whole multiverse, because of the Black Winter is coming. But Loki, as being Loki, he tries to just pick up the hammer, because, maybe he is worthy. And it turns out that he actually is. So he picks it up, and as he picks it up, of course, Thor calls for it, and, Sif allows it to go back to Thor. But that is really interesting. If you saw the Funko Pop, that was the PX previews in the Marvel box, there is a Loki holding a Thor's hammer. So it kind of goes towards that. But I'm curious if, because I know the cover of issue number 7 is that everyone can pick it up, but I'm wondering if Loki is going to use it somehow, and towards his mischief. So that's a really, finally, right? Finally we got that, because we know Thor is having a hard time holding him, right? He is slowly getting not worthy. Well, just, 2-3 years ago, he was not worthy at all. Right, and then of course the Mjolnir was in the middle of the sun. Yeah, that's a different story with the female Thor, right? So we go back, of course, Galactus roars there's no time, we have to go, we have to devour more worlds, so I'll be strong enough to actually fight the Black Winter. So that's what they do, but before that is happening, Thor actually gets some power, sucks in some power from Galactus for himself, so he can actually be more powerful as well. And here we've got a build to an Empire commercial, and I think this is a clever way of doing that, because not only it's a 2-spread, but where there's a, there you go, right, there's also a middle. I like that. I am not a fan of the story But I do like, that they've done a commercial like that. It's not really disruptive, and I think this is what Marvel is doing a bit better. They are putting a lot of advertisements for their events, which DC, we've got a Snickers, right, in the Batman story. But maybe because it's a Thor story, not like, Avengers or Fantastic Four or Spider-Man. It might be like that. So of course now Thor has more power, and they go from world to world. There are 4 worlds to go. So they go to the first 3, which are Silas, IOX4, and Vanish IVII. Those are the 3 worlds that, well, Thor helps to save, right? All the living beings are being transferred to the Asgard, and of course Galactus can eat those worlds. But the 4th one, right, which is Cryo, unfortunately doesn't have the same luck as the others, because as well, Thor tries to persuade the Cryons, you can say, right, because people love Cryons. Makes sense, right? He tries to persuade them. It's not, it's taking too long, and Galactus has to eat them already. And as this is happening, we got Black Winter coming closer and closer and closer. You can see that in the panels, which is great art right there. And Thor is pissed off. Like, Thor is angry, but there's nothing he can do. He knows that around them, you can see this is the beautiful splash, right? Like splash. This beautiful panel right here. The Black Winter is coming, and Galactus has to eat that world before he comes. And we got this moment right there, also what I showed you, where Thor actually rips apart a bit of his cape, puts it on his eyes, because he doesn't want to see how he's gonna die. There's of course guys that said, that told him like, hey, you're gonna get devoured, you don't want to do that. So he puts all of that, he puts that scarf on his eyes, and as Galactus eats the last world, kills everyone on the Cryo, we have the panel of Thor just crying and being ready, and he goes, until then, yeah, and we've got until then. The battle right here begins versus the Black Winter, and this is a cool thing to end. And of course, we've got we've got a Huggin and Muntin Huggin and Munnin show. I love reading that. This is a really good. I love Huggin and Munnin, but the end, of course, we got what is in the next issue. We got Taskmaster commercial. I think this is a solid book. To be honest, it definitely, again, Cade's had big shoes to fill in, right? After 10 years almost of the Jason Aaron, you gotta, fill those shoes. He's doing a lot of stuff differently that, well, you may like or you may not like, right? Like, we know all this fantastic Fortnite event, right? That just wrapped up as I was recording. But there are a few things that I just don't like. I don't like still this new design of Thor. I am so, like, this... Like, it just doesn't fit the Thor that I like, right? Like, it's just not the same Thor. Definitely pacing is different than from Jason Aaron, and if you gotta get used to that, right? Or the way that the story is told. Like, it's told more through, like those panels where you got, some kind of narrator, right? Just speaking, not Thor. That is also something that, kind of noticed a lot. So there's a lot more art as well. Not that much text. You gotta get used to that, and I think once you get used to that, which I think by issue number 4 or 5, yeah, you technically start to get it, but at the issue number, like, if you only finish issue number 6, you're like, okay, yeah, Donny Cates is here, let's just do it. And I think it's not a bad book. Could have been better, definitely, they could have put a bit more emphasis on those worlds. Like, I wanted to see a bit more of those 3 worlds that were just eaten by the Galactus. So it could have been that, but of course there's not enough pages, right? They had to do the whole story. And again, they're just wrapping 4 things up so they can have this battle in the issue number 5. I think it's not bad, it's good to show Thor crying, Loki just picking up the ammo, which is really insane, if you ask me. And I think it's kind of I wouldn't say it's as good as issue number 1 or 2 of this story, which I would gladly give an 8. I think again, this is like a solid 7, kind of like a Batman type of deal, right? It's a 7, not the best, not the worst, above average, definitely issue. We got some, we got some movement forward in terms of story, and if someone likes the story, is going to probably give an 8, but I think 7 is where the story ends and where it should be. So what are your thoughts about this THOR? Do you enjoy that book, or are you enjoying the Donny Cates run so far? Because so far, you know what, I'm going to say yeah, I think I do enjoy that so far. We'll see where this is going to go right in the future. So leave a comment in the comment section down there below. I want to know your opinion. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye, good night, have a fantastic rest of the day. Take care, bye.